Hi students, I'm Juliet Menendez. I'm the author and illustrator of Latinitas Celebrating 40 Big Dreamers. It is a book all about how the first small steps we take as children set us off on our journeys for who we later become. In today's craft video, we're going to talk about how to find character motivation. As we all know, it is hard for standalone facts or events to keep our attention. When we write stories, whether they are real or fictional, what happened is not nearly as important as why something happened. And for that, we need to get to know the characters behind the events. We need to get to know their motivations. But before we get started, let's quickly define a couple of things. Number one, a main character. A main character is the central person, animal, being, or creature that drives the plot of the story and who is most affected by the events that happen. I use the term affected to mean the emotional impact certain events had or have on a character. Number two, character motivation. Character motivation refers to a character's needs and wants. They can be specific. For example, a character on a deserted island could have an obvious need, needing to find food to survive, or the character's motivation could be a little more abstract, like wanting everyone to be treated as equals with respect and dignity. The tricky part, more nuanced or abstract motivations are often caused by experiences that happened early on in a character's life. In order to find these motivations, a writer has to travel back in time. For a fictional character, a writer has to imagine or construct a character's past. For a nonfiction or historical character, a writer has to delve into a lot of research, like I did. In my book, Latinitas Celebrating 40 Big Dreamers, I spent a lot of time delving into the childhoods of each of the Latinitas to find their motivations for achieving all of the incredible things they achieved. I'm going to read an excerpt from my story about Chavela Vargas. Ever since Chavela was little, people said she didn't walk, talk, or sing like a girl. She tried to fit in, but in her small town in Costa Rica, people didn't accept her being even a little bit different from the other girls her age. The priest wouldn't let her come to church on Sundays, her parents wouldn't let her come out of her room when they had visitors, and at recess, when she asked to play, the other girls would say, "Así no." Here, I am just setting up the experiences she had. I haven't talked yet about how she was affected by these experiences. You might be able to very well imagine how she was affected. We haven't gotten to that part yet, and we haven't seen how that reaction has determined her motivations. It was only when Chavela would curl up by the record player to listen to Mexican rancheras that she felt like someone understood her. One day, I'll get out of here and sing like them, she thought. She learned all the words to every song and sang wherever she went. Do you see how she was affected by the experiences she had as a young girl and where she found her motivation to later become a singer? Let's break it down and take a look at what was going on. Her experience. Being left out and excluded from every social setting, even church, for not fitting into expectations of how a girl should look and act. How it affected her. She felt lonely and misunderstood. Her motivation? She wanted to feel like she belonged and that she was understood, so she became a singer. Just like we did with Chavela, can you find the experience, how it affected the character, and the character's motivation in this excerpt I'm going to show you about Frida Kahlo. In each of these examples, the experiences alone did not ultimately determine what a character did. There are many ways that people have responded to feeling excluded or being sick and bedridden. Essentially, tying a character's motivation to early experiences that shape them is what makes a character's story relatable and believable. So, to recap, here are some things to remember when looking for a character's motivation. What early experience or experiences affected your character? How did your character's reaction to what they experienced influence what they wanted? Now, it's your turn to try. Make a list of 3 things you want in life. Pick one and try to remember the experiences that inspired you to want to do this. Or pick a real historical figure or imagined character and write a list of 3 things they wanted in life. Pick one and research or imagine the experience that inspired them to want this. So hit pause here and get to brainstorming or save this activity for later. Please check out the rest of the activities for the Latinx Kidlit Book Festival Craft Series on our YouTube page. I hope you enjoyed this and we can't wait to see you at the festival. Happy writing!